Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? What time is it? I tell you what time it is. It's 10 o'clock. You know how I know? It's Ken at 10, live coming to you from Southwest London. Hope you're having a good day so far. Weather here, a bit miserable actually. It's a bit grey, but it's Friday. The weekend's ahead. We're excited. Got some great new instructions coming up as well. Got a lovely one that'll blow your mind on Streatham Common. Just done the Twilight shoot for that. They're amazing pictures, and we're excited to do some social media on that. So look out for that one. Apart from that, a few other things. Do you know it's the summer solstice tomorrow? The longest day. I can't believe it already. It's a really strange year in that way, isn't it? Things like that. You think, what, really? Longest day? That means days get shorter after Saturday? Just seems very strange to me. But it's that kind of year, isn't it? Everything's a little bit weird. A few things in the news. Rents reached a record high ahead of lockdown. Well, yeah, we've been saying it here for a long time that if you legislate too much, then you legislate landlords out of business. And I think a lot of it's been that. In my experience, many landlords have sold up due to the new tax rules, the prohibitive rules around buying to let with the extra 3% stamp duty. Those that used to let to buy are finding it difficult to afford the extra 3% as well. And on top of that, the extra tax rules don't help existing landlords. So many have taken the profit that they've got and invested it elsewhere. And that's caused a huge shortage. And tenants are staying put more than ever now because of the shortage, because they know quite often that the rents out there are so crazy that they'd have to pay more for the same thing they're living in now. Not good news. And what we need to do is loosen up the market so more people feel comfortable investing in buy-to-let. Long term, it's a no-brainer, and it should never be a short-term win anyway, but it needs to be fair for everybody. And to be fair for everybody, the government needs to offer more provision, in my view, or housing associations need to free up some cash and start helping the people at the very bottom of the ladder, because I take no pleasure when people come into our office and say, look, I've got a salary of, 25,000 a year. What properties can I afford to rent? And we do the calculations, and there actually isn't anything available apart from studio flats at that level. That would be a rent of about 800 per calendar month if you were on 25k. And that calculation is so that we know that you can afford to eat, heat, light, and actually pay your rent rates and everything else that goes along with it, all the bills. So very frustrating for young people. Having said that, it's absolutely crazy. If you're a landlord right now, literally everything we get on is moving really quickly. So, we're as discerning as ever when it comes to tenant selection, but it's really surprising how busy it's been post-lockdown. It's extraordinary. And they're just saying that rents in England have hit a record high of 700 a month. That's across the UK. So can you imagine 700 across the UK? Place of lower income, that's a crazy high rent. And in London, £1,425 per calendar month. Lowest in Northeast at 495. Interesting one yesterday at the Court of Appeal. Very good news for landlords, this. The Court of Appeal ruled that the Section 21 notice issued by landlords are valid provided a gas safety certificate is served on a tenant prior to the notice. There was some question mark over this, in that some tenants were claiming that because they hadn't had a gas safety certificate at the very beginning of the tenancy, so the landlord couldn't evict them. There's now been a ruling on that in a landmark case yesterday, and you can evict your tenant provided a gas safety certificate is served prior to the notice. So the reality of that is that, just to be belt and braces, if you're serving a notice on your tenant, you should make sure that you include a gas safety certificate now as well, even if you served it previously, so you can demonstrate that you've passed and jumped through yet another hoop or hurdle. Rightmove says that searches for homes on sale with private open space have increased by 42%. No great surprise there, is it? But if you're stuck indoors and you've got no outdoor space during lockdown, it must be quite frustrating, mustn't it? Searches for flats with gardens on the sale side are up 84%, and a well-maintained garden could now add as much as 5% to the price of a typical home. Well, we've said that for a long time, and it is crazy how many people are looking out there for outdoor space now and sort of breaking out. And the good news is that's freeing up some of the lower end of the market for first-time buyers as well. And generally, the market's quite busy. It's nice to see some confidence returning there. Finally, the Independent Mortgage Lenders Association has said that the 3% stress test on loans for affordability is now not realistic. In other words, with loans fixed at 1% and 2% regularly, why have we got such a high stress test when you can fix for a long period of time at those low rates, and that those low rates seem to be with us now for the foreseeable future? So there is a good argument when we're trying to unlock the UK economy that should be driven by people buying houses, because when people buy houses and flats, then they buy white goods to go in them. They use repair services of builders, removal companies. It really does kickstart the economy. And I think the government are aware of this. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see some nice little nuggets that will help first-time buyers onto the market. They certainly need a leg up, and it's time to do it, folks. Apart from that, we're looking forward to a busy day today. A lot of valuations going on still. Many buyers registering, but it's sporadic. It's really weird. You're sort of mad busy, and then it's quiet and mad busy again. So we're doing a lot of work around that, doing what we call the ring round. We ring every buyer in the price range. You know, what are you looking for? Can we help you find a new one? And that sort of thing. Sorry, this fly driving me mad at the moment. Hate flies. And so I hope you're having a good day so far. And I hope you have a fabulous weekend. I'll be back in the morning for Ken at 10. Until then, have a fantastic day. Take care.